Good afternoon, everybody. Session just before the coffee break, so please keep focusing. Today's session will be for North Africa. First, I would like to say that I'm very thrilled and honored to participate in the 5th edition of the AfriSummit. Actually, I remember when it was only virtual, and for the last 3 years, we are having it face-to-face in Egypt. So I witnessed a remarkable development and growth, so I would like to thank very much the AfriSummit organizer. Actually, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to network with the colleagues across Africa and also engage with regulators, as well as definitely to explore opportunities and to know more about regulatory updates. I am Neveen Kamel, Regulatory Affairs Head North Africa, Egypt, and French-speaking Africa at Merck. I'm supporting regulatory policy advocacy efforts in the region. I have over 25 years of experience in industry, mainly in regulatory. Prior to regulatory affairs, I worked in several multinational companies in different roles: commercial, quality, pharmacovigilance, and pricing. I'm active member of several associations, including IFPMA, ARN, which is Africa Regulatory Network, as well as Pharma Working Group. So, again, I would like to invite you today because we're very honored to have 3 eminent regulators. So we're having Dr. Mariam Maged from the EDA, Egyptian Drug Authority. We're having Dr. Sameh bin Tkhayet from Tunisian Health Authority, as well as we're having Dr. Naouel Assam for the 2nd time in AfriSummit with us from Algeria. And now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Mariam Maged. Dr. Mariam Maged is a Human Variation Administrative Manager in the Egyptian Drug Authority. Dr. Mariam is being responsible for all types of post-marketing changes for human pharmaceutical drugs. She started her career almost 13 years ago in the Central Administration Pharmaceutical Affairs after graduation from Faculty of Pharmacy, Future University, with grade excellent with honor. In 2012, she started a new career path as a registration specialist in CAPA. In 2020, with establishment of EDA, started a new career as a manager of evaluation unit of specification and composition variation, until in 2021, where she's promoted to the current title in EDA as a manager of human pharmaceutical variation administration. Actually, Egypt is early adopter to the Reliance in the post-marketing changes. So over the last 2.5 years, we witnessed lots of approvals. So Dr. Mariam today will share her valuable insights and the opportunities and also the challenges during the journey. Floor is yours, Dr. Mariam.
Thank you, Dr. Neveen. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here at AfriSummit, a gathering that continues to shape the future of the pharmaceutical regulations at Africa. I'm Mariam Maged, Human Variation Administration Manager at EDA. Today, I will be sharing the key updates on our variation guidelines and the evolving of the Reliance in regulatory practice in EDA. I need the slides. Oh, okay, sorry. Let us talk about our vision. is to ensure safe, effective, and high-quality pharmaceutical drugs through rigorous evaluation and regulatory oversight, ultimately improving the public health. We are dedicated to empowering the role of Reliance, fostering trust and confidence to facilitate the availability of innovative drugs in the market. Since the publication of our first human pharmaceutical variation guidelines in 2018, EDA has embarked on a journey of continuous improvement. Today, I am proud to publish that the draft of the public consultation of the 6th edition of the variation has been published for public consultation in June 2025. This evaluation not only a matter of versions, it reflects our commitment to align with the global standards, particularly EMA and WHO, specifically after achieving the WHO maturity level 3 for medicine. Each edition had brought us closer to a clarity, predictability, and efficacy values that are essential for both regulators and industry stakeholders. Let me take you through the journey of how our evaluation happened. In first edition in 2018, we only worked on how or what the variation requirements that is needed for the variation, focusing on what is the variation and only what are the studies. Then comes the second edition, which began to refining the type of variations and updating required based on the nature of the change. The third edition was a breakthrough. We marked a turning point. It introduced the risk-based approaches for the variations and aligned with the global standards and laid on the foundation of Reliance. The fourth and the fifth edition were editorial changes where we just insertion the variation full evaluation for the imported finished products from non-reference countries. And now the sixth edition published for consultation in 2025 take us even further. It aligns closely with the EMA, strengthen the risk-based assessment rule, and redefine categorization to better support Reliance. The objective of the sixth edition of the variation, these guidelines are intended to assess the applicants with two types of variation: administrative changes for S and P parts, quality changes that affect the active ingredients and the finished pharmaceutical products. And now we initiated the Reliance evaluation route in June 2023, I think it's 2.5 years ago, recognizing the importance of clarity and transparency for both applicants and regulators, and that bring us to publish FAQ questions in December 2024 to make it clear for the industry to submit the variations according to Reliance. We also issued around 140 variation approvals according to Reliance pathway since we started. And now we are working on publishing public assessment reports for the variations that evaluated as a Reliance route to enhance the transparency and build the confidence across the stakeholders. And now, after we have seen the progress and the progress the EDA shared, I'd like to share some of the key points, opportunities, and we can build on the challenges that we are facing. What are the opportunities that are valid? First, the Reliance evaluation route. Reliance accelerates the approvals to allow patients access to medicine with no impact on the product. Publishing assessment reports from other stringent regulatory authorities helps us and the other NRA to improve their experience, knowledge, and build capabilities. Also, the pharmaceutical investment. Simplification of the LCM procedure has a massive role in the market expansion and enhance the pharmaceutical investment, and also the harmonization of LCM, which accelerates the access of the product in the market. And finally, we always admit that digitalization is a point of transformation in EDA, and it's a fundamental support to provide tools to increase the efficiency and ensure the best resources for EDA. Challenges remain challenges. The major challenge we face is that large number of variation applications with documentation discrepancies make it us difficult to apply the Reliance. Whatever differences in documentation requirements between the regulatory authorities and the pharmaceutical companies can lead to the delay of inconsistency, which delays the LCM process. Lack of transparency, clear and consistent guidelines from other stringent health authorities are essential for efficient regulatory process. And finally, continuous learning. Continuous learning is needed to ensure the efficiency and keep up in the market expansion. In closing, I invite all of us to continue building bridges between agencies across borders and with industry. Let us see the Reliance not as a shortcut, but as a bridge, enhance harmonization and ensure that our regulatory systems are ready for the future. Together, we can ensure that every patient in Africa has timely access to safe, effective, and high-quality medicine. Thank you all, and look forward to building bridges together.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Mariam, and I like very much the quote which used at the end, building bridges. Yes, I can see lots of countries implementing now Reliance, and it's really building bridges. So, for Tunisia, I would invite Dr. Sameh bin Tkhayet to join us in the stage. Dr. Sameh is the head of Pharmaceutical Industry Department in the National Agency of Medicine and Health Products, where we call the abbreviation ANMPS in Tunisia. She is a licensed pharmacist from the Faculty of Pharmacy of Montpellier and University and holds a master's degree in quality management for health sector. She began her career as a quality assurance officer in a local pharmaceutical company before joining the Directorate of Pharmacy and Medicine, the DPM, at the Tunisian Ministry of Health. Since December 2022, she has served as Deputy Director in charge of pharmaceutical industries, where she leads key national regulatory initiatives. She is the regulatory lead of the ANMPS eCTD project, the project manager of the updated drug registration guidance released in June 2025, and the project coordinator for the operationalization of the National Agency of Medicine and Health Products. Dr. Sameh has played a pivotal role in shaping Tunisia pharmaceutical regulatory framework. She led the bioequivalence guidance release in 2017 and contributed to the biosimilar guidance in 2018, in addition to other national regulatory documents. Since 2017, she has also served as a coordinator of the National Biosimilar Committee. Actually, in Tunisia, after the establishment of this independent organization, the ANMPS, actually we witnessed it's not only about streamlining the processes, but also it's a substantial development in regulatory framework, and we really see fast approvals. By this, we will hear Dr. Sameh will elaborate on new updates and mainly the eCTD.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to start by thanking the organizers for inviting me to this prestigious event. I am honored today to present Tunisia, my country, and the NMPS in this session. So, my presentation is divided into parts. I will start by the first part, dealing with the modernization of regulatory system, and then I will go to the eCTD project implementation and its progress. So, the modernization of regulatory system in Tunisia includes mainly 6 updates. The first, the creation of the NMPS in 2023, and then the validation of national pharmaceutical strategy, the maturity level 3 with WHO, the implementation of quality management system, the harmonization, the North Africa initiative, and finally, the development of national pharmacovigilance platform. We start with the first institutional progress, and this is the validation by the president of Tunisia, of the Republic of Tunisia, of the pharmaceutical strategy. Then we will have the implementation of the NMPS. So since the publication of the law in 2023, we have many action was done, especially the implementation of regulation, text regulation for administrative, technical, and financial organization, the reduction of business plan and service fees, and also staff training of all structure that compose the NMPS. The second update is the National Pharmaceutical Strategy. It's a 10-year pharmaceutical strategy, and it was, as I said, validated in the beginning of this year by the President of Tunisia, and it shows the strong commitment of political personalities. This National Pharmaceutical Strategy has 4 main strategic orientation, and the first one is dealing with governance. The second is dealing with production and supply, and it aims to strengthen national production and supply systems. The third strategic orientation is about strengthening and reform the pricing and distribution system. And finally, the last one is the dealing with vigilance and control, and the aim of this orientation is to strengthen surveillance and control of the system. The object is to combat smuggling and promote the rational use of health products. Another major update is the maturity level 3 of the NRA, Tunisian NRA. We started this initiative since September 2022, and we had on July 2025 a visit from WHO. And the main outcomes of this visit has shown several achievements and a lot of area of improvement, mainly the eCTD project, the revision of a lot of guidelines, and the implementation of quality management system. And we will have a follow-up every 3 years by WHO team to verify the IDP plan. As part of maturity level 3, we have implemented a quality management system. It's thanks to WHO assistance, and we recruited a consulting firm specialized in quality management, especially ISO 91 and 70025. And the objective is to have the certification on 2026. I will skip this slide because already described in the previous session. We go to the final update is about the National Pharmacovigilance Platform. So thanks to ODA-NEPAD and MRH, we have this project to implement a national platform for adverse drug reaction notification. This is a project for 30 months, and the contract will be signed in November 2025. I will start the second part of my presentation about the integrated information system and especially for eCTD project. This project aims to manage three main parts of the national regulatory authority: the company creation, product registration and authorization, and finally the market surveillance of health product. And we will have three phases. The first phase is dealing with company creation and registration of priority companies, especially industry, service companies, and promotion agencies. And the aim of the registration of this company is to allow the applicant to submit their dossier via eCTD. Also, during this phase, we will have the submission of eCTD dossier for human drugs. The second phase is for the registration for other company types, especially for pharmacies, wholesalers, and CRO. And the third part is for the product registration for other health products, especially for veterinary drugs, medical devices, supplement foods, cosmetics, and also the market surveillance for all these products. The focus in my presentation is the eCTD project, so we will start speaking about this project. This is a project of 5 phases. We started in May 2024 with the kickoff. We had the release of draft specification in September, configuration and setup in November, with the implementation and user acceptance tests in the same period. And now we are in the production phase. It is ongoing, and we hope that we will have the first submission of eCTD in the few days. So as I said, the main eCTD project milestones are the publication of eCTD documents and other related documents, technical documents, especially CTD guidance and Reliance guidance. Another milestone is the training. So we had many training, face-to-face and online training for screener, internal and external assessor, and also for processing user and IT team. The other training is the e-learning for all screener and evaluator. And we had a certificate for each trainer. We had this project also for applicants. So we had training, webinars for all applicants and stakeholders, and it was starting in September 2024, and the last one was in 15 September 2025, and this is for the launch of the NPS and eCTD portal. So this is the address, the link for the eCTD portal. We have the portal of NPS, and then we can go to the eCTD portal. And this portal will be launched in few coming days. How to go to the eCTD portal? The first step is to create the personal account. Then we will have the creation of companies, which are promotional medical agencies, regulatory consulting companies, and local manufacturers. And they are the submitter. And they will submit the dossier for the applicant, the holder. This is the interface of the new NMPS eCTD portal. So, what are the advantages of this portal? So this is a direct link between applicants and the authority. And it makes transparency for all action and steps done in the authority. We have secured access to this platform, and all applicants gain their registration progress using this portal, this interface. So this portal enables tracking of the status of a marketing authorization application for the overall application, and also for the different submission, such as the variation, minor variation, major variation, and renewal. How does applicant submit? So there is 5 steps. The first one is the creation of accounts. Then the compilation, the application create their sequence. Then they validate that sequence using an e-validator solution. They submit via the portal, and they should wait the validation for the first sequence to submit the next sequence. And they will receive an email notification within 20 hours. If the sequence is validated, it goes through the evaluation. This is the general overview of the interface. And we will have 2 minutes of demo of the portal, how to submit via the portal. I don't know how to go. It's okay. So, the editor will go to his account, create after access, will add all attributes of his application. He can modify this application to add, for example, another strength. It's possible, or modify any attributes. He can view, see if all information are correct. Then he starts this submission process and adds all information about it, the submission type, the estimated date. He can view his submission and can modify if he wants. Then start the sequence submission and add description, upload zip folder and add contact, and we can add multiple contacts, and these contacts will be the relation between authority and applicant. All responses are sent to the applicant via this contact. Then we log in as submitter, and only the submitter can submit application, can confirm the application. We can log in as viewer, and the viewer has only the ability to see application and submission and sequence. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sameh, for the very insightful and educational session. And we wish you the best of luck in the launching of the eCTD in Tunisia, as they are the early adopters in Africa. And now we reach to our last speaker or regulator from Algeria. So we would like to welcome Dr. Naouel Assam. And actually, it's her second time here. She joined before in the AfriSummit in 2023. Dr. Naouel is the Deputy Director of Technical and Regulatory Affairs in the Directorate of Pharmaceutical Product Registration, National Agency for Pharmaceutical Products, the ANPP. Dr. Naouel is a state engineer in biological science, specializing in quality control and analysis. She has over 14 years of experience in pharmaceutical and regulatory field. She plays an active role in the registration of pharmaceutical products in Algeria. Her career with ANPP has included several key positions: head of local manufacturing office, biological analyst at the National Laboratory for Control of Pharmaceutical Products. She is certified quality auditor and has received training in numerous international standards guidelines, including ISO into 2015, 16, and 19, as well in requirements relating to bioequivalence and cytotoxic products. Actually, we are eager to hear about the types of regulatory confidence. So Algeria is having a different terminology for the Reliance in their publications. They are using the terminology regulatory confidence. They stress on the trust and the confidence in the process. So we will hear about types of regulatory confidence implemented in Algeria and latest publications. So I would welcome Dr. Naouel. Please. Just a small note for this presentation. So Dr. Naouel will be presenting in French language, and I will try to wrap up what's the key messages only. And then we'll head to the coffee break.
Bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour tout le monde. Donc, le thème d'aujourd'hui est la confiance réglementaire, accélérer l'accès aux médicaments grâce à la collaboration et la confiance mutuelle. L'accès rapide à des médicaments sûrs, efficaces et de qualité reste un défi majeur pour de nombreux pays africains. Face à l'augmentation du nombre de dossiers, à la complexité des produits et des ressources limitées, la confiance réglementaire s'impose comme une approche stratégique qui permet à une autorité nationale de s'appuyer sur les évaluations ou décisions d'une autre autorité de référence tout en préservant sa souveraineté réglementaire. Avec 3 principes fondamentaux qui sont la confiance, la transparence et la compétence.
Okay, so here Dr. Naouel wanted to elaborate very quickly that due to the patient needs access to their medicine fast, and due to the increased number of applications and complexity with limited resources, so the regulatory confidence is really a strategic and emerging approach. But here they highlighted that the regulatory confidence is relying on the assessment and the decision of other reference authority while they preserve their sovereignty or independency for their decisions. And here it's just quick, what's the regulatory confidence principle is mainly on, depending on the trust, which they call it the foundation of this process, the transparency, which they call it the enabler, and definitely the competency, which is the prerequisite. So any health authority should have the expertise and the capacity to be trusted as a reference authority.
Un exemple d'application de la confiance réglementaire en Algérie, on dispose du décret du 26 décembre 2020 fixant la procédure d'évaluation documentaire et ou technique du dossier d'enregistrement et la liste des médicaments concernés, dans laquelle on va retrouver la définition de l'évaluation abrégée, qui peut prendre en compte l'évaluation réalisée par une autre autorité réglementaire pharmaceutique stricte ou une autorité reconnue par l'Agence nationale des produits pharmaceutiques, approuver les demandes d'enregistrement. Ainsi, on retrouve en annexe la liste des pays concernés.
Okay, so the first publication in Algeria about the regulatory confidence was in 2021. So they have an article which says that the abridged evaluation depends or take in account the assessment of, and actually they have two lists. So they can rely on stringent regulatory authorities or authority recognized by Algeria. And here in the annex to this ordre or arrêt, they show two lists. So the list of stringent regulatory authorities, which is actually the WHO list, the WLA list, and also they have another list which recognized authorities by Algeria stated here.
Ce dernier texte a été enrichi récemment par un autre arrêté interministériel du 10 septembre 2025 relatif à l'encadrement du principe de confiance réglementaire et de reconnaissance mutuelle en matière de produits pharmaceutiques et dispositifs médicaux, permettant l'instauration du principe de confiance réglementaire pour toutes les fonctions réglementaires, pas que pour l'enregistrement des produits pharmaceutiques.
And simply the second publication was only 2 months ago. It was in 2025, September, very recent publication, and it will give more definitions on Reliance, and we will see it in the next slide.
Dans cet arrêté, on retrouve deux définitions importantes, qui est la confiance réglementaire, acte par lequel les autorités réglementaires d'une juridiction peuvent prendre en compte des évaluations réalisées par une autre autorité de réglementation ou une institution de confiance ou toute autre information fiable et leur accorder une importance significative pour prendre sa propre décision. L'autorité qui accorde cette confiance reste indépendante, responsable des décisions qu'elle prend, même si elle s'appuie sur les décisions, les évaluations et les informations des autres entités. Le deuxième terme, définition qui est très importante, qui est la reconnaissance, c'est-à-dire acceptation de la décision réglementaire prise par une autre autorité réglementation ou une institution de confiance. La reconnaissance doit être fondée sur une preuve que les exigences réglementaires de l'autorité de réglementation de référence sont suffisantes pour satisfaire aux exigences réglementaires de l'autorité qui entend se fier à elle. La reconnaissance peut être unilatérale ou mutuelle et peut, dans ce dernier cas, faire l'objet d'un accord de reconnaissance mutuelle.
Okay, this is I think, one of the most important slides here, that here we have two definitions or two pathways for the Reliance. So we have the regulatory confidence definition, where the health authority, Algerian, consider the assessment from another regulatory authority, but the most important thing that they remain independent and responsible for the decision. While the other pathway, we can say, which is the recognition, which is different, which is the acceptance of the regulatory decision made by another regulatory, but with conditions. So the conditions that it should be based on evidence that regulatory requirements are sufficient to meet the regulatory. And actually, there are two types of recognition. There is the unilateral and the mutual, but definitely the mutual needs the mutual recognition agreement. And finally, the reference regulatory authority, the definition all of us already know. It's a national or regional authority or even an institution like the WHO pre-qualification whose decision can be relied on.
La MPP conçoit la confiance réglementaire comme un mécanisme par lequel elle s'appuie sur le travail effectué par les autres autorités de référence à travers notamment des rapports d'évaluation, des JMP, ML et CPP. Aussi, on retrouve cette confiance réglementaire s'applique à des produits prioritaires, oncologie, les vaccins, les produits innovants et les maladies rares. Tout en intégrant ces informations dans ses propres analyses scientifiques et processus réglementaires, en tenant compte des spécificités locales telles que les conditions d'utilisation et les caractéristiques de la population cible.
I think this slide is self-explanatory. I think it's very clear. So here they clarified what's the requirements of the regulatory confidence, assessment reports, GMP, CPP, and manufacturing license. And for the regulatory confidence in Algeria, they prioritize actually the applications. So they mainly consider the anti-cancer drug, the vaccines, innovative and products, and lately they added also the orphan drugs.
Pour cela, on retrouve essentiellement 4 avantages à la confiance réglementaire en Algérie. Accélérer les délais d'enregistrement, optimisation des ressources d'évaluation, renforcement de la qualité des décisions et convergence vers les meilleures pratiques internationales.
And here, Dr. Naouel already summarized all we agree about the advantage of the Reliance, definitely the acceleration and reinforcing the quality decision, optimizing resources, and finally convergence towards the international best practices.
Et enfin, en conclusion, la confiance réglementaire n'est pas une délégation, mais un partage de confiance. Elle préserve la souveraineté nationale tout en accélérant l'accès aux soins. Elle est un pilier de la convergence réglementaire nationale, régionale et africaine.
Okay, and this is the conclusion slide. Again, in Algeria, they are confirming that regulatory confidence is not a delegation, but a sharing of trust, as well as that they preserve their sovereignty, as well as finally, it's a pillar of national, regional, and African regulatory convergence. Thank you, Dr. Naouel.
Merci à vous.